This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen The Gray Man, a new action thriller from directors Anthony and Joe Russo. It follows a man codenamed Sierra 6, who works for the CIA as a highly trained assassin. A mission in Bangkok goes awry when his target turns out to be a defected member of the same CIA program, giving 6 an encrypted drive which contains information that could bring down one of the agency's top officials. Naturally, that CIA official wants that intel and will stop at nothing to get it. Well, he hires someone who will stop at nothing to make sure he gets it. Either way, 6 knows how to stay ahead of the others, which makes things exciting but kind of dulls any tension along the way, really. This feels like a by-the-numbers kind of story and plot, mostly because it is. If there are any story beats to hit or action tropes to include, it usually does. In a few cases, the tropes even happen twice, and in similar ways that result in giant explosions. It's a story that feels largely without risks, not only because of the cliché elements, but also because of how scenes become predictable, mostly because of the film's larger focus on action sequences. Like a scene starts off calm, then ramps up in tension, then a nice giant fight breaks out and eventually fizzles away. Repeat this for the better part of 2 hours and throw in a few scenes that pad out the weak story, and you have yourself a movie. Not to be forgotten are the rather forgettable characters, who have little in the way of actual development, ostensibly because they're supposed to be secret agents for the CIA, but more likely because they aren't much more than good old-fashioned character archetypes that fulfill greater roles for other characters, and within the genre as a whole. Their first scenes are enough to set up their personalities, and they haven't changed at all before their last scenes. It doesn't help that character dialogue is flat and interchangeable, likely written more for the actors to make their own through performances, but even so, it doesn't feel like anybody is trying. Ryan Gosling, who plays 6, is pretty much going through the motions, giving off some charm but mostly being held back by the script. Chris Evans, as the film's main antagonist, does at least seem to be having fun in his role, but still doesn't have a fuller character for it. As for the third leading character, played by Ana de Armas, I don't have much to say because she doesn't have much to do, outside of assisting in fight scenes, which for the most part means getting thrown around every couple of seconds. On the technical side of things, The Gray Man pushes visuals and effects to the limit, even though there is no reason to go that far. There are a good number of extravagant settings in locations across the globe, and at least one fight scene every 10 minutes or so. And if the movie were made just for these scenes, then that would explain a lot about everything going on. In any case, the action scenes often feel like they're designed around ramping up the potential amount of danger the fighters are facing, although that doesn't mean much when you know you're still less than an hour into the movie. When it comes to actual visuals, things are coherent enough, but still pretty underwhelming, with an obscene amount of CGI on display that only helps remind you of the lack of immediate danger. There are a few nice lighting and coloring choices going on, but they're usually surface level and only within individual scenes, and hardly used across the film in a thematic manner. The film's handful of drone shots are some of the better camera work being captured, which is a bit sad to say because they're usually just to establish a new location or exterior and almost never within a scene. I will add that whenever there are creative visual touches, they're also only found in fight scenes. which is just as much of a drag since it suggests that the whole movie could have at least been interesting to look at. The fast-paced editing within action scenes make these choice cuts too short to take in, and it leaves the rest of the film feeling like a waste of potential. I wouldn't necessarily say that this movie is wasted potential, though. It's more like a waste of time and resources on a script that could have been given another draft to help flesh out actual character personalities and give us something to care about other than fight scenes for which we already know the outcome. For what it's worth, there's a lot of energy and pizzazz going on in almost every scene, but it all comes at the cost of actual suspense, and by the end it all feels more tedious rather than tense. The Gray Man, Anthony Russo, Joe Russo, 2022. 1.5 stars. I wouldn't recommend watching it. I'd bet the worst James Bond movie is still way better than this. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I will assume that the red noticed poster over there is not a coincidence. I swear, if they have a crossover or something, I'm gonna... I don't know, I guess I'll cry about it later.